Hello, hello! I'm Tonya Dalton, owner of Inkwell Press and host of Productivity Paradox. Today I want to talk about 3 questions to ask yourself to be more present. And to make this even easier, I've got a free download I'll be sharing with you later on in the video. In the meantime, go ahead and hit that subscribe button before we get started. We all want to be present, don't we? We want to live in the moment and actually enjoy it. You see, our brain works in 2 different ways. We have quick thinking mode, which is how we make most of our daily decisions. It's effortless. We just do it without really thinking about it. But we also have self-reflection mode. And this is unique in humans. It's this idea of thinking about what we're thinking about. And it's such an important part because self-reflection is what allows us to grow. But distractions are causing us to lose the ability to self-reflect. And this is a problem because being present is an important part of achieving your goals. You see, when you're not making progress on your goals, it's generally because you're not really reflecting. We're all going to come into problems and we're all going to have stumbling blocks when we're working towards big goals and dreams. That's not unusual. But what we have to do is we have to take the time to understand why we are stumbling, why we're making these mistakes, so we can redirect. And self-reflection is an important part of that. Nobody can solve their problems simply by looking at the future. So making sure that you're taking time to self-reflect when you're setting your goals allows you to be present and to adjust and to be flexible. You see, people who achieve their goals actively take time to self-reflect. They look at what they could do to perform better. They ask themselves, what can I do differently? And then they resolve to change their bad habits or the things that they're not doing quite the way that they want to do. Studies show that self-reflection on a regular basis helps us learn better and just become more self-aware. So it boosts our creativity, our productivity, and our overall well-being. You see, we give ourselves that mind space to be able to untangle our observations, to see what is happening and figure out how to learn from it. Researchers studied workers at a call center to see how self-reflection would improve their performance. So they had employees spend 15 minutes at the end of their day reflecting on the lessons they learned during their phone calls. Now, the people who were reflecting had a 23% increase in their performance after just 10 days over people who did not. They also found they were happier, more productive, and felt less burned out at the end of their day. So if we know it's good for us, if we know we want to be more present, why don't we take the time to do it? Why don't we take the time for this reflection? Well, oftentimes we don't know how to. We sit down and we think, I don't know where to start, and then we just give up entirely. Or it feels uncomfortable. Having to slow down, especially when you're used to the busy pace of your day, can feel a little bit like a time waster. But really, it's not. We don't have this tolerance for inefficiencies, and we feel like sitting down is inefficient. But truly, it is using your time effectively. Because reflection can lead to these insights and these breakthroughs. It feels vulnerable, so we avoid it. The other thing is, sometimes we don't like the results. We don't like to think about things that haven't gone well or things that we could do better. But it is so important. We want to take action. Instead of just sitting and thinking, we get biased towards moving forward and we think we have to keep going. We can't stop to think. When in reality, self-reflection is what's going to propel us forward in the long run. It's hard to see that return on investment sometimes, but I promise you, it is well worth the time. So just taking a few minutes every day to self-reflect will make a huge difference. So here's what I have for you. I have a download that walks you through these questions to make it even easier. But I have 3 things you can ask yourself at the end of each day, or if that feels like too much, at the end of the week. Start small, it's okay. Question number 1 is, when I look back on my day, what would make me feel good about how I spent it? And then write out your accomplishments. Identify the things that went well and even the things that didn't. Not everything's going to be sunshine and lollipops every day, right? That will help motivate you on what you want to work on tomorrow. You can't do better if you're not taking the time to see what needs to be improved upon. Question 2, what could I do today that would make me proud of myself? What are you working on? What are you working towards? What are you moving forward towards? This makes you more likely to choose activities that are the deeper work on the things that are truly more important to you if you're constantly looking ahead to where you want to go and how your actions today get you there. Question number 3 to ask yourself, what would the ideal version of myself do right now? So after you take this mental audit, what would you ideally work on? That helps you see your progress. And it reminds you that what you're working on is important, and that helps with our motivation because you'll start to see yourself achieving. Writing it down helps you think out next steps. So I want you to comment below, what activity would you like to be more present doing? Something at work? Something at home? I'm curious. Make sure to leave a comment below and share with me where you'd like to feel more present. And I want you to do this. I want you to find ways to reflect that work for you. It doesn't do you any good for me to stand up here and tell you, find ways to reflect if it doesn't feel like it's right for you. You could journal, you could talk to a friend or colleague, you could just sit down with a little bit of silence and just you and your brain having a conversation reflecting on your day. Just using intention to think through your day really can make a difference. And as I said earlier, start small. You don't have to start by reflecting for 20 or 30 minutes. Take 2 minutes at the end of your day and build it up. Add another minute in, then 3 minutes, then 4 minutes. If it's easier, don't reflect every day. Start by reflecting once a week, and then you can start building up to reflecting every single day. When you're having trouble, ask for help. That's what friends are for. Friends are great at holding you accountable and making sure you're staying on track. So be sure to ask for help if you feel like you need it. And I want to encourage you to practice often. Not taking time to look backwards really doesn't allow you to be in control of where you're going forward. We push and we push and we push towards the future, but we have to look behind us and see our breadcrumbs. We have to see where we've been to really understand why we're going in the direction we are and if we really want to go in that direction. We don't want to be in this reactionary state of mind where we're just moving forward and we don't know where we're going. It's a little bit like hopping in your car without a map or GPS and just thinking, I'm going to go where the day is going to take me. Yeah, it might end up being a fun day, but you could end up in a completely wrong direction from where you really want to go. The download I have for you will make this process even easier because it's got a little bit of structure to give you the springboard you need to get started. And you can grab that at inkwellpress.com/bepresent. Now, once you're on my email list, anytime I have a free download, you'll get that automatically into your inbox. If you want to learn more about being present and how to be present, I've got a podcast episode for you, episode number 76 at Productivity Paradox, all about how to be present. I also have a couple of blog posts that might interest you. You can look for those links in the description below. I've got a playlist going of all kinds of stumbling blocks and how to turn them into starting blocks. So be sure to check out the videos there. All right, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, have a beautiful and productive week.